hearing SRIMAD BHAGAVATAM. Yesterday we heard Supreme Lord said to four Kumaras. The Lord replied, O Brahmanas, know that the punishment you inflicted on them, means on Jai and Vijay, was originally ordained by me. And therefore they will fall to a birth in a demoniac family, because they said, we think we did the wrong thing, but here Supreme said, no, it was I inspired you. It was done by me. But they will be firmly united with me in thought through mental concentration intensified by anger, and they will return to my presence shortly. Brahmovach. Atha te munayo drishtva nayanananda bhajanam vaikuntam tat adishtanam vikuntam cha swayam prabham. Lord Brahma said, after seeing the Lord of Vaikunta, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, in the self-illuminated Vaikunta planet, the sages left that transcendental abode. Here this word is used. Nayanananda Bhajanam. Sages, after seeing of the eyes Ananda pleasure, Bhajanam producing Vaikunta pleasure. Yes. Our Parangurudev gave the name of deities in our Gohati Mat. Shri Shri Guru Gaurango Radha Nayanananda. Has two meanings. One is Krishna is bliss to the eyes. Is giving bliss to the eyes. And another is Nayan Mani Manjari, means Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur is giving bliss to him. Krishna is Ananda of Nayan Mani Manjari. And Nayan Mani Manjari also giving happiness to Krishna. Like Krishna Ananda. Getting pleasure from Krishna, or it can also mean giving pleasure. Both meanings possible. So here they saw Nayanananda. Bhagavantam parikramya pranipatyanu manyacha pratijah jagmuh pramuditah sham santo vaishnavim shriyam. The sages circumambulated the Supreme Lord, offered their obeisances and returned, extremely delighted at learning of the divine opulences of the Vaishnava. I said many times, I will say again, some devotees, they say parikram, but it is not parikram, it is parikrama. That A at the end has long, means is long A, means it has that line on top of A, so that A cannot be omitted. Like you can write Gopala and you can say Gopal, or Rama, you can say Ram, like this. But here, or Brindaban, you can say. But Parikram is not, because that A is at the end. Just today one devotee was asking me, he read in one book of Bhaktivinoda Thakur that Krishna, the husband of Rama or Rama, kill that demon. Then he was asking me how this is possible. Krishna, husband of Rama. Then I told him, because you have to see these lines on top of A. When we write Ramachandra, then it is, or Radharaman, then it is R-A with A with line on top. So it is Ram. But in Rama, the first A is short. So some also Bengali, they will say Roma. But the last A is long one. So it means Lakshmi Devi. Lakshmi Devi, one's name is Rama. And the name of Krishna is Rama. Different pronunciation. You have to see those A's. So that is why he could not understand. So it is same with parikrama. You can hear in the recordings of Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, he is always saying parikrama. I checked. And also it is in all books with the A on top with that line at the end. Bhagavan Anugau Aha. Aha. You see here. It is not Aha, it is Aha. It's different meaning. Yatam ma bhaishtam astusham brahmateja samartopi hantum neche matam tume. Like Brahma with all short A's means absolute truth. Atatu Brahma Jigyasa. But Brahma with long A at the end is means four-headed Brahma. So outwardly both words look same, but that is different. So also some they could not understand, and they just corrected in one book. Whenever they saw Brahma, they just corrected it into Brahman. But it was not correct in some places. In some places it meant Brahman. In some places it meant four-headed Brahma. So you have to be careful. And in some places, when someone already put in Brahman, then another put in Brahmana, like Brahmin. Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. So it goes like this. Actual word is Brahma, means Supreme Lord. Ultimately it came to Brahmana. Through Brahman to Brahmana. So in this way mistakes are happening because of unprecise knowledge and unprecise this writing and correcting. The Lord then said to his attendants, Jai and Vijay, depart this place, but fear not. All glories unto you. Though I am capable of nullifying the Brahmana's curse, I would not do so. On the contrary, it has my approval, as we heard, because he wanted to do this type of lila, to fight, to taste the fighting, and his devotees will do that role as demons with whom he will fight. Yes. Yes. Here also you will find in the book of Srila Sai Maharaj, in commentary, as explained in connection with text 26, all the incidents that took place had the approval of the Lord. Ordinarily, there is no possibility that the four sages could be so angry with the doorkeepers, nor could the Supreme Lord neglect his two doorkeepers, nor can one come back from Vaikuntha after once taking birth there. It is impossible to fall from Vaikuntha. You will also find in 7th canto, when this story is little repeated because of Hiranyakashipu and Rishingadet Lila, there also Sai Maharaj is telling the conclusion is that no one falls from Vaikuntha. Sometimes Sai Maharaj told like that as if that was only for the certain purpose, because Mayavadis, they cannot understand about eternal sambandha with Krishna. So if you tell them from Brahma Jyoti or Tatashta or like this, too complicated. So he just said we are eternally connected with Krishna. We were with him, but because we became envious of him, we fell, and now we have to regain that. But that was for some purpose, like to children. You have to tell in certain way so that they will be able to advance in their process. But conclusion is not that. Shastri conclusion is jivas are coming from marginal potency, and they may fall from there into material world if they want to enjoy, or when they will reach Vaikuntha, either from Tatashta marginal plane or after being conditioned, they will reach Vaikuntha or Golok, then there is no more fall, impossible. But these are all Leelas. You will find in Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's Madhurja Kadambini. There he directly explains that you should not take these examples of Jai and Vijay, of Chitraketu Maharaj and Vritasur to mean that someone can fall down from Prema or from Vaikuntha Goloka like this. Impossible. That was arranged by Krishna's will for these pastimes. So this is not ordinary happening. And we also heard in Parikshit Maharaj's case, he already conquered thirst. He was never disturbed by thirst or hunger. But on that day, and on that day, he misbehaved with that sadhu. That was not in his nature. But it was inspired by Krishna, Paramatma, and Krishna inspired that boy to curse him so that Krishna could very quickly take back home Parikshit Maharaj and to manifest Bhagavatam. That was the purpose. Or Durvasa Rishi did not intend to make offense to Ambarish Maharaj. He also played the pastime, such pastime, only to show the glory of real devotee. All by Krishna's desire. So here, further, Sai Maharaj is telling, all these incidents, therefore, were designed by the Lord himself for the sake of his pastimes in the material world. Like, you know, Radharani's appearance day is coming soon, on Saturday. There, Viraja was doing separate worship of Krishna, which is indiscipline. So the Sakis, they told to Radharani. Radharani rushed there with Sakis, and cowherd boys, they took Krishna away. So that Viraja, out of fear, left her body there and became that river, Viraja. But then later, when Radharani and Krishna met, then Radharani rebuked Krishna very much. And Sudama was pained in his heart. How you can speak about my Krishna like this way? I curse you. You will be born in this material world, and you will have to bear the separation, grief from Krishna for 100 years. Then Radharani also cursed Sudama. He is a personal associate of Krishna, cowherd boy, eternal associate. She cursed him, you will also be born as a demon in this world. So these are all pastimes they are making. These are not that jivas are falling from Vaikuntha. Thus, here he plainly says that it was done with his approval. Otherwise, it would have been impossible for the inhabitants of Vaikuntha to come back to this material world simply because of a Brahminical curse. Impossible. The Lord especially blesses the so-called culprits. All glories unto you, so-called culprits. Why he would say all glories unto you? Jai. A devotee once accepted by the Lord can never fall down. That is the conclusion of this incident. See, conclusion. One is Siddhanta, and one is you may sometimes speak something to children to help them advance gradually. Like doctor will say, I will give you this rasgulla if you take this medicine. Or when you learn astronomy, first they will tell you that all the planets are moving around sun and sun is immovable, is fixed. Why? So that you can understand this point first. Then when you will understand this point, then they will say, next installment, they will say, but sun is also moving. But when sun is moving, those planets are moving around sun as if the sun is fixed. In that way they are moving, not in irregular somewhere, no, in that way. But if they would explain, it would be too much at once. So first like this, like this. So teacher, also in Shastra, gradual installments of truth are coming. So Sai Maharaj had to explain to Mayavadis, those who had such samskaras, in this way, so that they could gradually grasp the eternal relation with Krishna, which every jiva has. But it was not active, but it is existing, but it is undetected in that marginal plane. It is existing, but is undetectable state. So it is very difficult to understand. So in simple way, first this installment, and then ultimately conclusion comes. And even if someone knows all Siddhanta, all conclusion, Shastric Siddhanta, that does not mean that he saw that, he realized that. Even Siddhanta is, you cannot encompass with words everything, how it is. Like Achintya Beda, Beda is Siddhanta. But how it is, how they are different and non-different, you have to see that through realization. That is why it is stated that bona fide guru must have knowledge of Shastric Siddhanta, conclusion of Shastra. He must have that knowledge, but also realization. Then he can help others according to their eligibility, qualification, necessity. Because not all advices are suitable for all in their states of consciousness. So real Acharya will speak in a way appropriate. So that is his glory, not that he's cheating or lying or no. That is his glory that he is speaking according to the and gradually advancing. Jiva Goswami also did. He was speaking about Radharani and Krishna being married. Svakya Bhav of Radha Krishna he was presenting. Why? Because they were unable to understand transcendental Parakya Bhav. So in Tattva, Radha and Krishna, they are married. Because Krishna is Sarva Shakti Man and Radharani is his Purna Shakti, full potency. She's always in his service. They have that connection. That is marriage. Wife is serving husband. So in Tattva they are married, but in Lila they do such pastimes so that that love becomes more intense. So because they were unable to understand, he had to speak in this way, otherwise they will think bad. I experienced this myself. One Indian he's a little Hindu, little Christian, Buddhist, everything mixing. So he's a bit like accepted this morality from Christianity also. So he asked me, why Radharani and Krishna, they are not married? I have this experience in a sense that what is this? Why God would do immoral things? Why they are not married? So then I had to explain to him that in Tattva they are married, but in Lila they are doing in this way. So installments of explanation have to come, and then conclusion comes, and ultimately realization you have to get. That is final. Etat puraiva nirdishtam Ramaya krudaya yada pura pavarita dvari vishanti mai uparate. This departure from Vaikuntha was foretold by Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune. She was very angry because when she left my abode and then returned, you stopped her at the gate while I was sleeping. This is also Lila. Mai sam arambha yogena nistirya brahma helanam pratyeshyatam nikasham me kale nalpiyasa punah. The Lord assured the two Vaikuntha inhabitants, Jai and Vijay, by practicing the mystic yoga system in anger, you will be cleansed of the sin of disobeying the Brahmanas and within a very short time return to me. That is, different bhavas related to Krishna are purifying. That kama, krodha also all can be used. Fear, kanksa, bhaya. He was in relation with Krishna through fear. So that also purified him. They are in anger. Dvah stau adishya bhagavan vimana shreni bhushanam sarvatishaya lakshmya jushtam swam dhishnyam avishat. After thus speaking at the door of Vaikuntha, the Lord returned to his abode, where there are many celestial airplanes and all surpassing wealth and splendor. Tau tu girvana rishabho dustarat dhari lokata khata shriyo brahmashapat abhutam vigata smayo. But those two gatekeepers, the best of the demigods, means higher beings, their beauty and luster diminished by the curse of the Brahmanas, became morose and fell from Vaikuntha, the abode of the Supreme Lord. Harilokata, yes, Harilokata, from Vaikuntha, Hariloka, here. So we know Ambarish Maharaj, not Ambarish, Parikit Maharaj. He also had that power to counteract the curse of a Brahmin boy, but he did not, because he knew it is the desire of Supreme Lord. Here also, Krishna could remove that, but he did not because it was his desire. And in Durvasa Rishi's case, he's a Brahmin, he cursed, but that could not work because Supreme Lord protected Ambarish Maharaj. So everything depends on the will of Krishna. Tada Vikunta Dishanat Tayor Nipatamanayo Haha Karo Mahan Asit Vimana Griyeshu Putraka. Then as giant Vijay fell from the Lord's abode, a great roar of disappointment arose from all the demigods who were sitting in their splendid airplanes. Tau eva hyadhuna prapto parshada pravaro hare diter jathara nirvishtam kashyapam teja ulbanam. Lord Brahma continued, those two principal doorkeepers of the personality of Godhead have now entered the womb of Diti, the powerful semen of Kashyapa Muni having covered them. Tayor asurayor adya tejasa yamayor hivah akshiptam teja etarhi bhagavan stat vidhat sati. No, vidhit sati. It is the prowess of these twin asuras, means demons, that has disturbed you, for it has minimized your power. There is no remedy within my power, however, for it is the Lord Himself who desires to do all this. Brahma is telling. No one can oppose the will of Supreme Lord. He is supreme. As He plays His flute, everyone has to dance. No one can do anything against His will. That is why when Durvasa came to Brahma, Brahma said, I cannot help you. Shiva also said, I cannot help you. This is the weapon of Supreme Lord. His will is there. Because it was the will of Supreme Lord that Sudarshan, he ordered Sudarshan, you always protect Ambarish Maharaj. Because he is my fully surrendered devotee. We sometimes hear from pure devotees and Shastra about the power of devotion. And those are all facts. But we sometimes do not experience like that kind of purification like this, then we develop some doubts whether that is true or not, they are saying. But it is the same, we have to consider another factor also. There are degrees of our surrender, which are also stated in Shastra and also stated by realized souls. That verse is there. If someone does devotional service, then according to degree, he will get those three realizations. As one eats food, he will get nourishment, satisfaction, and freedom from hunger. Like that, how much one does devotion, that much effect he will get. So, like example is, there is one fire there. Fire can burn. If you give paper to fire, it will burn immediately, or some other things. That is a fact. But if paper is little distance, you slowly you bring to him, then you will not experience that effect of the burning power of fire. So you may have doubts. I read that fire will burn paper, but I'm not seeing. Fire is there, I'm having paper, but I don't see. It means there is some distance. Fire's effectiveness is fact, and it can burn, but there is another consideration. So like that, how much we are surrendered, in what kind of quality we are doing devotional practice. Like everyone is chanting Harinam, but why Haridas Thakur could reject even Maya Devi? If Maya Devi comes to us, we cannot reject. Impossible. Although we are also chanting Harinam, but not same quality. That surrender, unconditional surrender, is not the same. So in that way we have to understand. So no one has any power. Supreme Lord has supreme power. If someone unconditionally surrenders, he will be fully protected, fully maintained. I'm chanting and I'm thinking, why Krishna is not bringing me food? Why he did to Madhavendra Puri? I'm chanting, he is also chanting, why Krishna is not maintaining me? So there is a qualitative difference, degree. And whatever is stated in Shastra, it is actual fact. It is not exaggeration. One name of Krishna, actual name, can destroy all karma. Like in the case of Ajamil. Can destroy. But my quality of chanting is not such. Or Dhruva got darshan of Supreme Lord very quickly. He followed the instruction of Guru exactly. But I'm not. So how I can get same result? And it is also stated in Shastra and Rupa Goswami in Upadeshamrita that it depends also how much one is conditioned, like the jaundice disease. If person with jaundice disease will take sugar candy, one candy, then he cannot taste it. That does not mean that candy is not sweet. It's sweet, but I'm sick. So that bile is there, covering, so I cannot taste it. So how much one is in Maya, in that ignorance, to that degree, he will be unable to taste Krishna's name. But the more that disease will be removed, the more he can taste. This is also stated, so we should not take only one-sided statement, but all statements of Shastra we have to take and then see where is my qualification, what kind of devotion I'm doing, then everything is clear. Otherwise you may think, why this is not working? I'm also chanting and Dhruva got darshan, I'm not getting darshan, so Krishna must be partial. No, not partial, never partial. I am not doing, or I am not patient, because in Shastra also it is stated, yes, now I wanted to say but I forgot in between, it is stated that Ambarish Maharaj, he was practicing devotional practice under the guidance of bona fide Guru, and he could gradually conquer all desires. Gradually. So that is also stated in Shastra, because we are so conditioned. So it will take some time. And how quick, it depends on intensity of our bhajan. And intensity again depends what is the power of our sukriti. And if willingly we are taking, what kind of association of sadhus we are taking, and how powerful are those sadhus, everything this is factors are there, so many factors. So all factors you have to see, then you can judge whether it is true or not, or there is some defect in me. And also Rupa Goswami, he wrote the teaching of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What Mahaprabhu was speaking in Puri, that same teaching Rupa Goswami wrote in his own words as Upadeshamrita. So there he wrote, Utsahan Nishchay Dorjat. Dorjat means patience. If one could get immediately, then what is the use of saying that in your devotional practice you have to be patient? The result will not come all of a sudden. And there is one verse also is quoted there in the commentary of Prabhupada in Upadeshamrita from Padma Puran, I think, from Padma Puran by Vyasadeva. I will read it so that it becomes clear, because sometimes we complain or we doubt or we are depressed or something because not understanding all the factors. I'm searching that one verse is there. One second. I'm not finding it now. But the meaning is, one verse is from I think from Padma Purana, that if you give this holy name to one, or maybe in this 7th verse. Yes, I found. It is from Padma Puran. That is written by Vyasadeva. That is God. So his words are fact. Svarga Khanda, 48 chapter, 56th verse. Tancha deha dravina janata loba pashanda madhye nikshiptam syanna phala janakam shigram evatra vipra. O Brahmana, if the Lord's holy name is cast among the atheists who are lustful toward the body, material possessions, and family members, it will not quickly produce the fruit of love for him. Means it will take some time. Holy name is all powerful, but we are not properly chanting. Up to that degree, how much we are surrendering, that much we get the result. And because we are so engrossed in these things, we are unable to completely surrender. So how much we can surrender, that much we get the result. Here, Prabhupada is telling Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, due to the influence of ignorance, the jiva thinks highly of his material body, family members, and material attachments. He mistakenly considers the illusory energy which is active only where there is an absence of the awareness of the Lord as the supreme controlling entity, Bhagavan. We're thinking Maya is Bhagavan. Thus, he is unable to understand his true spiritual identity. By the power of Shri Krishna's name, the false egoism arising from the jiva's ignorance is dispelled like fog. At that time, the jiva acquires a taste for performing Krishna bhajan. By the power of Shri Krishna's name, the false ego is dispelled like fog. But I'm chanting so much. But because I am not chanting with surrender, full surrender. So I'm getting a result only as to the degree of my surrender, which, and I'm saying no, I'm not getting result. What is written in Shastra is wrong. What the Guru is saying is wrong. I'm already practicing 20 years, I'm not getting. So that is wrong. No. You have to consider all the factors given by Guru and Shastra. Then you can understand why you are getting certain result and not full result, all this. So here, Brahma is telling, my dear sons, the Lord is the controller of the three modes of nature and is responsible for the creation, preservation, and dissolution of the universe. His wonderful creative power, Yoga Maya, cannot be easily understood even by the masters of yoga. That most ancient person, the personality of Godhead, will alone come to our rescue. What purpose can we serve on his behalf by deliberating on the subject? Yes. Here in commentary, Sai Maharaj is telling this also sometimes we are having doubts. So he's explaining, when something is arranged by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one should not be disturbed by it, even if it appears to be a reverse according to one's calculation, my calculation. For example, sometimes we see that a powerful preacher is killed, or sometimes he is put into difficulty, just as Haridas Thakur was. He was a great devotee who came into this material world to execute the will of the Lord by preaching the Lord's glories. But Haridas was punished at the hands of the Qazi by being beaten in 22 marketplaces. Similarly, Lord Jesus Christ was crucified, and Prahlad Maharaj was put through so many tribulations. The Pandavas, who were direct friends of Krishna, lost their kingdom, their wife was insulted, and they had to undergo many severe tribulations. Seeing all these reverses affect devotees, one should not be disturbed. One should simply understand that in these matters there must be some plan of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, which we are unable to understand. Also in our life, I heard from one practicing devotee, not pure devotee, otherwise such thinking cannot come. I'm doing everything fine. I'm doing everything good. Why Krishna gave this trouble to me? He's not protecting, he's not maintaining. And that is our narrow vision, not seeing whole picture. That I am not actually doing pure devotion without any desires and so much karma, all this. I'm doing something, I'm thinking I'm doing everything perfectly. But if some pure devotee comes, then we can observe what is the quality of our devotion. Then we can also understand why Krishna is not bringing me sandwich like to Madhavendra Puri. Because my devotion is not like Madhavendra Puri's. Or Dhruva's devotion, or Haridas. So according to degree we are getting, and sometimes also to show the glory of devotion, these things are shown to us, so that we see how devotees, what Swami Maharaj is telling further. The Bhagavatam's conclusion is that a devotee is never disturbed by such reverses. We don't know what is inside his heart, how Krishna is actually protecting, but we are not seeing. To show the glory of devotee and devotion, these pastimes also are made. Otherwise we cannot understand. He accepts even reverse conditions as the grace of the Lord. One who continues to serve the Lord even in reverse condition is assured that he will go back to Godhead. That is Tatenu Kampam. They are seeing. So when they are seeing as a grace of Krishna, how they can suffer? Back to the Vaikuntha planets. Lord Brahma assured the demigods that there was no use in talking about how the disturbing situation of darkness was taking place, since the actual fact was that it was ordered by the Supreme Lord. Brahma knew this because he was a great devotee. It was possible for him to understand the plan of the Lord. So, if we are fully surrendered, then we can see, then those devotees, they are never disturbed under any circumstance. I also had this experience, I told many times. One Gurudev's godbrother, I met him in 1999. I spoke with him in English. He had good English. Srila Bhakti Prasad Puri Maharaj. So already at that time, Gurudev told me that I have to be careful because Maharaj is playing the pastime of illness. That was in 99 or maybe some year, but in 2003, that Maharaj suddenly got some outwardly seen like some nervous disease and he could not move his body. He was in a wheelchair, difficulty moving. Then in 2004, I again saw him. Then I became angry on Krishna. I complained. Why? He's your dedicated devotee. Why he has to get such condition? I was angry, complaining. Then, after Arati, we, in our mat, Banchakalpatarvascha, and then to all senior Vaishnavas also separately offered Dandavat. So he was in his room, I went to his room, I offered Dandavat, full Shashtanga Dandavat Pranam. And while giving Dandavat to him, I lost all my physical pain, also mental pain, which I was not even aware of that I have. Subconscious, all pain gone, and I felt transcendental bliss from the heart, in the soul. Then Krishna letting me know, now you think, Madan Gopal, logically you think. You are giving Dandavat to this Maharaj, and you are losing all pain, which even you were not aware of, all pain gone and bliss you're getting. How you can think he's suffering? Only this message came. Then I understood. By Krishna's mercy, I understood. Outwardly we may see something and judge according to our material experiences. I thought why he has to suffer this thing. But he was never suffering. I saw it like that. It is not true. So then I understood what Gurudev meant to say Maharaj is playing the pastime of illness. That is true for all pure devotees. It is stated in Bhagavatam, in 3rd canto, we will soon come. Mother Devahuti was asking Kapil Bhagavan, so he told, you should associate with devotees and you should be careful, Mother Devahuti. Sometimes they are playing the pastimes of being sick, but they are not suffering. Their mind is always engrossed in me. So how there can be any suffering? It is stated there. So we have to have belief in Shastra and Guru. If there is some doubt, something is wrong in me, but our ego does not allow that. We always tend to think I am all right, others are bad, wrong. But our Gurudev told, now we are saying all are bad, I am good. But the actual reality we have to come to that sort of vision when we'll see all are good, I am bad. I am not properly serving Krishna. Then we can actually have some tangible, real progress. that can also happen only by the merciful association of realized souls, to see things as they are. Tomorrow we'll hear. We are observing Sita Thakurani's on Wednesday as per India calendar. So tomorrow we'll hear Bhagavatam.